Guys, good morning. My name is Pt12a.mp4. I have been taking you on the different stages of how to trade Forex from the basics to the advanced level. And so in the last topic I talked was rejection candlestick patterns. Today I'm going to be teaching us about the different strategies that exist, or some of the strategies I use when you want to trade NFP. In the beginning of this class, I talked about non-farmers payroll, right? I talked about non-farmers payroll, right? Non-farmers payroll, and how and what it represents, how to trade it. But today I'm going to be talking about some of the strategies you need to know when you want to trade non-farmers payroll. Remember, I said we have two types of trading. We have fundamental trading and technical trading. And I said that fundamental trading is when you use news releases. And I said that one of the most powerful news releases is the non-farmers payroll release. I said that the NFP is the strongest news released by the US government. And I said that it is released on the first Friday of every month. So the NFP for this month of August was last week Friday, right? It was last week Friday. So I'll be showing us some examples, that's practical examples of how to trade it. I'll just do a little recap on NFP and what it presents, the time it usually happens, and some other little things you need to know to be able to trade NFP effectively. Okay, let's start. I said that NFP is usually released on the first Friday. That is the first Friday of every month, right? First Friday of every month. That's the first thing you need to take note of. The second thing you need to take note of is it is usually released by 12:30, or in some countries 1:30, some countries 2:30. So you need to be conversant with the time zone, because our time zone varies country by country. The time in Ghana is different from the time in Nigeria. The time zone in Nigeria is different from the time zone in South Africa. Time zone in South Africa is different from the time zone in US and other countries. So for you to be able to get the exact time, because your aim when trading NFP is to trade the news immediately it gets released. You understand? If the time for releasing the NFP news is let's say 1:30, right? You need to hold your phone and be checking the site. I'll just on the site, so that immediately the news gets released, you enter. You understand? But I'm going to show you some strategies whereby you can place spending orders before the news gets released, so that even if you are not aware, you'll be able to catch the move. Because like I said, NFP moves, non-farmers payroll news, as it is the biggest news release, it is usually the most volatile for all USD pairs. That is to say, all pairs that have USD, United States dollars pair, USD, you understand, either as the base or the codes. Once the NFP gets released, it usually has a tremendous effect on the movement of price in the market, right? So now once you have marked the day, right, the time it released, now some of the sites you can get this NFP news release is on Forex Factory, forexfactory.com, right? Forexfactory.com. There's you can also check for NFP on investing.com, and so many other sites you can get fundamental news releases, right? Let me just show us a practical example of NFP. That's the one that happened last week Friday. As at the time I'm doing this video, let me show us a practical example. Let me go to forexfactory.com and open the site and show us. Okay, so this is forexfactory.com. This is the site, right? Now see the date is showing here. This is today's date, right? August 8th. So now let's go back to Friday, so that we can, okay, this was yesterday, then this was Saturday. Remember, there's no trading on Saturday, so this was Friday. Now This was Friday, right? And what we're interested in trading is non-farmers payroll for United States dollars, right? So now, the time that the non-farmers payroll news was released for us here in Nigeria was 1:30, right? 1:30. Now, this is the news, right? This is the different non-farmers payroll. All this USD card, all these USD pairs where the news releases for non-farmers payroll. Now, if you check here, see the name itself, non-farmers payroll. Now, this there are three different news releases on that Friday. The first is average hourly earnings for workers. You know, in America and some other developed countries, they get paid in hour. They don't pay them the way they pay in Nigeria. They get paid per hour. So if I'm working for, let's say, 10 hours in a day, and they pay $10 per hour, it means that at the end of 10 hours I'll be paid $100, right? So now they release the first news here is, you see, as you can see, is the average hourly earning, right? The average hourly earning. Now this news release is trying to tell us if the amount of money people earn in the country increased, or it reduced, or it remained static, remained constant. You understand? So these are some of these things are economic indicators to help the US government know if the economy is doing great, or the economy is going backwards, or the economy is static, right? So now, once you touch the news, now just click on it. Now, from what we can see here, remember the last time when I was teaching about news trading, I said that we have forecasts, we have the actual value, we have the forecasted value, and have the previous value. Let me just do a small recap on the things I taught in the last class about news trading. Remember, I said the forecasted values is the values that different financial analysts predict that this will be the outcome that month. The forecasted value is not actually a real value, because it is not released by the government. It is released by different financial analysts, both in banks, in financial institutions. It's just like an average of what all those people have predicted and what they feel this is what is going to be for this month. So they use different economic indicators, economic data, to be able to predict. You understand? So now, when you want to trade NFP, right, non-farmers payroll news, you need to be, our primary interest is this actual value, our actual value. You understand? Let me explain previous. The previous just represents the previous value that was released. You understand? The previous value that was released by the US government. You understand? Remember, our interest here is non-farmers payroll for USD, United States dollars, or currencies that are traded with or against the United States dollars. You understand? So now, once the actual value released is greater than the forecast value, right? When the actual is greater than the forecasted value, what is telling us that we should buy. So immediately this news gets released, right? And we notice that this actual value is greater than the forecast. What you just need to do is enter and buy immediately. You understand? And make your profit. I will explain further when it comes to currencies that are traded, currencies where the USD is the base currency. That's to say, let's say we have USD, we have let's say GBP slash JPY, GBP slash USD, sorry, GBP slash USD. Now, in this case, now we know that Great British pounds is higher in value than United States dollars, right? So in this case, I will explain further the impact of news on this kind of pair. You understand? Because if when there's a release of this kind of news, right, where the actual value is showing that is bigger than the forecasted value, it means that all pairs that start with USD slash, let's say, JPY, USD slash CAD, all of them will buy. But it's not going to be the case for currencies in the case whereby, let's say, we have GBP slash USD. Currencies like this we sell, but I will explain further. So I've explained for the actual value. Let me explain for I've explained for the average hourly earnings, right? So now let me explain for the employment change. Now this employment change, if you notice here, the value is bigger than the forecasted value. It means that the currency will buy too, right? Now see this one now, unemployment rate. All the values we can see here are better than the previous value. Now this unemployment rate, it just represents how many thousand jobs were added to the US economy. This employment change here, it's trying to tell us how many thousand jobs were added to the US economy as against the previous number of jobs that were added to the US economy. And now from this actual value, we can see that 528,000 jobs, more jobs, were added to the US economy that month, right? That is in the previous month, that is in July. 528,000 jobs were added to the US economy as against the previous value that was 398,000. Now, this value of 528,000 was around the figure before the COVID-19 pandemic happened, right? We all knew that when the COVID-19 happened, many people lost their jobs, many economies went down, and so many things went bad, right? So when that COVID-19 happened, a lot of people lost jobs. But now, from this value, we can see that 528,000 new jobs were added into the economy last month of July, telling us that the high, that is the value that it was before the COVID-19, the economy has gone back to that previous place. It means that the economy has recovered past the level it was before COVID-19 happened. So that is just what this thing means. You understand? So now once we have been able to mark out the values for we have seen all the actual values, and we have seen that they are all greater than the previous value. What we need to just do is what? Buy. And that is all. That's just all we need to do. Buy. Place our pending orders or do our instant market execution. Because anytime this news gets released, there is usually a massive spike in price. Let's go to MT4, our MetaTrader app, so I can show us practical example of how the market moved in a very fast manner as this news were released. Let's go to our MetaTrader app. Okay, for this example, I'm making use of USD CAD. Now, if you notice this big candle here, from this point, the market went up, right? So now let's mark out the time. Remember, I once taught us about using crosshair cursor to be able to know the exact time. You understand? So let's use crosshair cursor. The news was released around 1:30, right? It was released around 1:30. Now this was Friday last week. This was around 12. It was around 1. Let's use this is USD. Let's use USD JPY. Okay, let's check the time. Okay, this is it. This is the news. I think Forex Factory releases the news. I think the time is leading ahead by 1 hour in Forex Factory, because if you check here now, you will notice that the time it is showing here, it is 12, meaning 12:30. Let's go to 30 minutes time frame and see it clearly. Let's go to 30 minutes time frame so we can have a better view. Okay, 30 minutes time frame. See now it's showing here 12:30, right? If you notice this, now this 12:30 is actually 1:30. So Forex Factory releases the news 1 hour behind. Sorry, 1 hour ahead of time. Because if you check, let's go to Forex Factory. If you check Forex Factory now, see the time it was released, 1:30. It is showing it was released here 1:30. While on our MetaTrader app, it is showing that it was released by 12. So you need to understand all these time differences. If not, you will miss it. You understand? You will miss it. Because if you check here, the news was released around 12:30 on MetaTrader app. This is USD JPY. Let's go to USD card that we left. USD card. You also notice the same thing around 12:30. See, it's exactly the same thing. Exactly, the news was released. The market pumped massively. You understand? Forex Factory is showing 1:30. MT4 MT4 app is showing 12:30. So what it means is that Forex Factory is ahead of time by 1 hour. So what you need to do is, let's say the news is today, right? Let's assume that today is the first Friday of the month of August, right? What you need to do is you just need to be waiting for 12:30 on your MetaTrader app. You keep checking time, use your course of check time 12:30. You understand? 12:30 on your MetaTrader app. Once time gets to time, just go to your Forex Factory app and you keep refreshing. Immediately you just notice the news that has been released. Either you use pending orders. Remember, if you're using pending orders, it has to be before the news is released, because as we can see from this candles here, the market is usually very, very volatile once all this news gets released. Now let's calculate the number of pips this thing did. For USD card, you just need to drag your cursor to where you want to calculate from. You are calculating from 1.2871. You hold it with one hand and drag it, right? Now we can see that USD card, this particular move was 0.01057. What I usually do is I just ignore this decimal point. Now this market did 105. Let's count these first three. 105 pips. You understand? So if I say 105 pips, if I say 105, they multiply by lot size. 105. If you entered on one lot size, you get $105. If you enter on if you enter on standard lot size, you get $1,050. Remember, standard lot size they're multiplying by $10. Mini lot size they're multiplying by $1, and micro lot size they're multiplying the pips by 0.1. So just like that, the market pumped for USD card around 1:30. Market pumped up. Let's take USD JPY. The same thing happened. Market immediately, the time was 12:30. Market pumped massively, right? See the time here, 12:30. Market pumped massively. Then if you go and check pairs that are traded against USD, take for instance, this is gold, XAU USD, right? Let's go to Friday. XAU USD. You will notice that the market sold at that time. This is it here. Let's move smaller time frame. XAU, this is it here. Look at this. See this candle. XAU USD. Yeah, this is it. This is the candle. See the time, 12:30. As pairs that were USD, all the pairs that had USD, sorry, that had USD slash, let's say JPY, GBP, or anything USD slash, they all went up. But all the pairs that were trading against the United States dollars went down. That is to say, all the pairs that had, let's say, GBP slash USD, XAU, which is good, USD, all of them sold at that point. I will explain more so that we can understand this thing very, very well. I will explain further. Let's go back to our notes. Okay, guys, I will stop this part of the class here. In the next class, I will explain further, so that the videos will not be too lengthy. Because I can already say I already reached 20 minutes. So, in the next class, I will explain the different strategies we use in trading non-farmers payroll. I will explain the directional strategy and non-directional strategy. Thank you for your time.